one show that I still rewatch to this day. It's One Tree Hill. Okay, One Tree Hill, when I grew up, I literally had the box DVD sets of this show. This show was giving so much drama. There was trauma. There was just really good music. It introduced us to so many music artists. And I had not seen anybody on this app talking about it. So here are my thoughts about One Tree Hill. Some people want it to be Peyton. Ew, don't want to be tortured and codependent like she was, and I feel like there wasn't a lot of change with Peyton. But for me, I was always a Brooke. Okay, Brooke was very much, she taught you clothes over bros. Okay, yes, she had her missteps, but eventually she learned to really rely on herself, and eventually opened herself up to love, and she would recognize her toxic patterns, and that is why I always loved Brooke. Brooke always had the zany one-liners, and she was the heart of the show for me. Jake and Peyton should have ended up together. I said what I said. Okay, so yes, Peyton was so tortured, but she had really good taste in music. And the show really revolved around that, and kind of like, at least for her, her arc was really about music and how, she said the line, every song ends, Jake, but is that a reason why we shouldn't enjoy the music? Life quote right there. Pete Wentz was on the show, had a character arc with Peyton. Gavin DeGraw and the theme song. This introduced music to a generation that maybe didn't know about the music. I'm talking about myself. And then there was the fact of the couple that got married in high school. Got married and then separated for a bit and then got back together, and then oops, she got pregnant, and then she went into birth while she was valedictorian of her high school graduation. I'm talking about Nathan and Haley. Originally, I know the marriage storyline that happened at the end of season 1 was because they had no idea if they were coming back for season 2. But yeah, they got married in high school. There were a lot of intense storylines over One Tree Hill school shooting, this guy, Dan Scott, spoiler, killing his own brother. But guys, if you haven't seen it already, I spoiled it. It's been so many years. But I think the craziest storyline for me, besides Nanny and Carrie, was the fact that he was supposed to get a heart transplant, and then something happened and a dog ended up eating the transplant that he needed. What? Shows are not as crazy as One Tree Hill used to be. And last but not least, this couple, Karen and Keith. So Karen had a baby by Dan Scott, okay? And Keith was Dan Scott's brother, who Dan Scott also killed. But Karen loved Keith, and we loved Karen and Keith. And this scene right here was so sad. I still shed tears.